Good morning, everyone. Welcome to your orientation for the Faculty of Science and Technology, early orientation. My name is Karen Terrell. I'm the referent librarian in the Science and Engineering Branch Library. I'll be your presenter this morning, and I will also have my chat manager, Miss Kato Folks Kato, Cheryl. So what we'll be looking at today, I'll be giving you a brief overview of your Science and Engineering Branch Library, what we have to offer you, the services, the spaces that we have, and our clients that we serve. So at the end, we will be doing a question and answer. So you can place your question in the chat and it will be read to me. Okay, so I'm going to be sharing my screen and we'll go through the presentation. Okay, so the Science and Engineering Branch Library. So our presentation overview will look at who we are, our primary clients, our history, staffing, our spaces that we have to offer, the resources that we have to offer you, and some of the services that we have to offer you here at the Science and Engineering Branch Library. So who we are, the SEBL is part of the UE Mona library system, and we are the second largest library. So we have the main library and we have 4 branches, and we have the Western Jamaica Library, which is in the western area of Jamaica. We have the Law Branch Library, Medical Library, and our Science and Engineering Branch Library. So our opening hours are, and this is pre-COVID opening hours, Monday to Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 6 a.m., Saturday, 8:30 to 12 midnight, Sunday, 12 noon to 8 p.m. And during the summer, we will normally open at 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. But, that has all changed because we're in the COVID pandemic. So we're open Monday to Friday, 8:30 to 4 p.m. and we are closed on Saturdays and Sundays. So the primary clients that we serve, SEBL supports staff and students of the Faculty of Science and Technology. So we support the staff of departments of engineering, mathematics, computing, physics, chemistry department, life sciences, geography, and geology. And some of the units that we also support and centers include Biotechnology Center, the Center for Marine Sciences, Natural Products Institute, the Earthquake Unit, and also the Mona Institute of Applied Sciences. A little about the history of the Science and Engineering Branch Library. So the Government of Canada assisted with funding of the building of this library. And the library was opened in 1973, December 7th to be exact. In 2016, the Science Branch Library, formerly the Natural Science Library, was partially renovated and spaces repurposed to formally recognize the inclusion of the engineering as part of its mandate. So, with renovation completed in 2017, the Science Branch Library was rebranded Science and Engineering Branch Library. So, our family and the SEBL. So, we have a total of 11 staff members. So, we have 2 librarians. You have Dr. Harris, who is the head of the Science and Engineering Branch Library, and you have myself, Karen Terrell. And then we have a cadre of library assistants. We have 2 clerks, we have 2 attendants, and we have custodians, okay, to serve you and provide you with whatever services you require. Okay, our spaces. We have quite a number of spaces where our students can relax and enjoy themselves while being productive. So the spaces include, we'll start from the top floor, which is the 2nd floor of the building. We have the Postgraduate Learning Commons. That facility houses 4 seminar rooms. We have a computer lab, which houses 21 computers with various softwares. We have SPSS software, we have EndNote software, and the Microsoft Suite software. You also have the engineering reading room, which is very spacious. It consists of whiteboard where persons can do their assimilation of presentations. We have CARDIN, the Caribbean Disaster Information Network, and this consists of a virtual library, Caribbean Disaster Virtual Library, and it houses information on disaster, environmental issues within the Caribbean. That floor also consists of a student restroom. Then on the first floor, we have the West Indies and Special Collection that houses information on the Caribbean, authors within the Caribbean who writes on the Caribbean. So those are West Indies collection. We also have periodicals on that floor, and periodicals consist of resources from the 1900s to present. And we have a few staff offices also on the periodicals floor. What I forgot to mention also, on the PGLC floor, there's a large spacious conference room where persons can have meetings, and sometimes we allow students to have their presentation assimilation in that conference room. And we have a project overhead state-of-the-art projector also in that facility. We're going down to the ground floor where we have the circulation and reference desk, where staff provide resources and information for students. It also consists of the reserve book collection, that is the RBC collection. And also on the ground floor, we also have the open shelves where students can just go and retrieve items from the shelf and take it to the circulation. On the ground floor, we also have the bag deposit room where students will leave their bag before entering the library. We also have Oh, I was informed that I'm not sharing my screen. I'm so sorry. Let me share that. I'm so sorry. Okay, sharing. All right, can you see my screen now? I hope you're seeing my screen now. I'm so sorry about that. So on the ground floor, as I was mentioning, staff offices, you have a few staff offices and you have the student restroom, okay? And we're on to the basement. Our basement is a reading room space where students are allowed to take their bags in this space. And it's the only space in the library where students can take their bags with them. The basement was recently renovated to have additional spaces where students can go and study and feel comfortable. So students should check this basement out when they return to school, or new students when they come in September. All right, we're continuing with spaces. You have the Merrick Computer Lab, where we have approximately 42 computers where students have different software, as I mentioned before, and they can use this productive software to complete assignments. Student carrels are located on the periodicals floor. As I mentioned before, the Postgraduate Learning Commons, it has 4 seminar rooms, a huge spacious conference room, and we have a computer lab. Okay, we have overnight reading room, but that has been suspended because we are in the COVID environment right now. So that has been suspended. All right, the resources that the Science and Engineering Branch Library provide for students, they are cataloged according to the Library of Congress classification. But the students don't need to worry about the classification. They just need to know that the resources in the Science Library is cataloged, and their code for their sciences is Q, agriculture is S, technologies T, and we have a few library sciences and information resources in the Z collection. Okay, and we also have a few G for geography, anthropology, and recreation. Okay, so your science resources will have a classification number of Q, example Q, QA for different discipline of the sciences. Okay, all right, the resources that we have to offer, we have resources like RBC, highly recommended prescribed material listed on course outlines. Items are available for loans as overnight or reading room. We also have open shelf item where students can access 4 open shelf items for 1 week, and they can get 2 RBC for overnight and 1 reading room resource from RBC. You also have periodicals, and we have the West Indies collection. So we're continuing resources. They're accessible via the catalog, the portal, which is given the name UELink. You can access UELink anywhere, anytime. You can access UELink if you're off the campus. Once you have your computer and you have a connection, you can access UELink. You can search for books, journals, theses, print, and electronic resources. Okay, so you can take UELink with you anywhere. So you can access UELink by going to our webpage and you click on resources. You can click on UELink right here and you can search our catalog. All right, so this is the interface for what our UELink looks like. So student would need to log on. I've logged on, so that's my name. And you can go through the ribbons. You have different access to different other campuses. So once you're on the Mona campus, you will not see Mona here. So you have to ensure that you're on the Mona site. So, but once you see Mona here, that means you're not on the Mona site. And you can navigate the ribbons. You do a basic search here. You have advanced search, how to access your databases, your e-journals, and e-books. So we'll be using a lot of those because of the pandemic, and we'll be operating in a dual modality. So you will have online classes and you'll have persons coming in, and you'll also have persons coming into the library, and you'll have persons going to classes online. So we'll be operating in a dual modality. So you can look at the site, you can log on, click on each of these links, and you can familiarize yourself with the resources, okay? You can also scan the QR code to your phone and you have UELink at the touch of your fingertip, okay? So just navigate, students can navigate the UELink interface and look at the resources that we have to offer them and familiarize themselves with the UELink interface, the page. All right, so as I mentioned, accessing databases, we have a few databases that science students can access and use. We have the local one, as I mentioned before, Caribbean Virtual Disaster Library, and you have Karen. This deals with disaster information within the Caribbean. We also have science database, IEEE, you have SciFinder Scholar, Web of Science, Direct Science, TEAL, and you have a host of other databases. These are accessible via the library's web page. Okay, so you just click on databases and you can access once you enter the name of the database, you can access the database and navigate. All right, as I mentioned, one Caribbean Disaster Information Network, it was established in 1999 and it provides linkages with Caribbean Disaster Organization to widen the scope of the collection of disaster-related information and to ensure improved access to such material. So persons can access the Caribbean Disaster Virtual Database from the library's webpage also. This is just a network of the network that we collaborate with. You have the SEDIMA, you have PAHO, and you also have CRID, and we have a host of other entities that we engage with. So this is just a synopsis of the network. So continuing with the virtual library, as I said, it was established in 2001 and we collaborate with UE, the Department of Geography and Geology, and CRID. So SEBL is in collaboration with the European Union Humanitarian Office. And as I said, the resources covers Caribbean disaster related information. So there are full text, you have videos, you have images, and audio and maps. So this database is it's in a restructuring mode right now, but you can still visit the website from the library's webpage and access resources on the Caribbean. And access is free from the UA Mona Library website. All right, so this is what the interface of the Caribbean Disaster Information Network looks like. So when you go to the page, you can click on Virtual Disaster Library and you can see the options that you have there and look at the ebooks, documents, images, and videos that we have on that platform. So this is a little about Karen. It was established in 1990. The provider is the SEBL, Science and Engineering Branch Library. As I mentioned, it covers Caribbean environmental issues. So the CARDIN covers disaster-related issues and Karen covers environmental issues. Full texts are available also, and it's free via the library's website. This is the interface for the Karen database. So when you click on it, you enter your search term or your search words, okay? Oh, so we're continuing with our services. So we have loan services, as I mentioned before. You can borrow items from the open shelf. Postgraduate can get 6 books for 1 month. They are accessible via, they have to come in, choose items from the open shelves, and they'll get them issued to them. Undergraduates can get 4 books for 1 week. We also have reserve book collection, RBC. We have items for overnight, and we have items for reading room. Interlibrary loan services that we can, if you find the resources here, the information, but we don't have the item, we can do interlibrary loan, but there's a fee if the library that we are gonna have get the service from, like if you find a book that, you find the information for a book on our system and we don't have the item, we can check with another library if they have it and there's a charge attached, the charge will be transferred to the student for the service. Okay, so that's interlibrary loan. Interlibrary loan, so we can borrow from STIN, Scientific and Technical Information Network, College and Library Information Network, Collinet, that's local, and we also have overseas entity that we collaborate with. St. Augustine, you have the British Lending Library Division, SISTI, and we have Berime. And again, if there's a charge involved, the charge will be passed on to the students. Our services also include face-to-face. We have face-to-face is very limited right now, where students can come into the library, a librarian is there at the reference desk and the reference librarian. So there's assistance from a librarian, which is provided at the reference desk. So we also have virtual reference. So online assistance in real time is provided by the library's virtual reference services. Ask Mona, the system is Kayak. So students can log on and click on Ask Mona and they can speak with a librarian in real time, okay? All right, so our services also include computer access. All registered students have computer access, wired and wireless. The wireless access is via the UA hotspot. We also have Microsoft Office Suite for word processing, as I mentioned before, spreadsheet, PowerPoint presentation. Our software also includes, we have EndNote, which is a reference management software that assists you with your in-text citation and your references. We also have a social sciences package. It's a statistical software where students can use to analyze their data. So you can log on to the system using your UE 8-digit ID number and your password. That was, I'm not sure if MITS assigned you a password or you are the one who set your password. But I think it's your date of birth. I'm not sure if they're still using the date of birth. Okay, so you'd log on to the system using your ID number and your password. All right, our services also include photocopying, which is a self-service. So your printing services, and the system that we use here is a paper cut MF system. Students can add funds to their printing account at the circulation desk. You're offered black and white copies at a price of $12 each, colored copies at $25 each. You may copy at any of the branches because it's a system that is in all the branch libraries. All right, so printing, as I said, the first one was photocopying. You can also print, you can scan your documents. And as I mentioned, each registered library user has a print account already established. You just need to activate this account by adding a minimum amount of $50 to your account. So you take your ID to the circulation desk, and you'll assist the person at the desk will assist you in adding that amount to your account. You're also you are provided with color printing, and this is at a cost of $35. Color printing is only done in the main library. All right, so our information literacy session. So the library has a range of training sessions to offer, and these include UELink, how to navigate the UELink, and at the beginning of the semester, we'll be having training session in how to navigate our online public access catalog, UELink. So you look out for those training session. There will be a list and we'll be advertising, okay? So there's also training in database searching, how to access the databases, how to navigate them, how to retrieve articles. You'll also have expert searching of the internet, search and discovery, and we'll also have session on plagiarism, how to avoid plagiarism, and UWE has a strict policy plagiarism. So we'll be looking at those also. And we'll be having session on referencing, how you go about using the different reference styles, in-text citations, and references for your assignments. Okay, so that's information literacy, and we'll be advertising those UELink session shortly. All right, I think we're coming to the end. So I asked Mr. Omar should be entering a few of the links that we have, or you can access the library resources. You can go to our YouTube channel, which has a lot of resources there, our Instagram page, our Facebook page, and our Twitter page. You can also access OURVLE and enter the UEML1. That's the code that you're gonna use when you log into your OURVLE to access a lot of resources. We have resources on how to use the library, how to access resources, how to navigate the databases. They have resources there on citation styles, a variety of them. So you need to visit our social media pages also, and most importantly, you need to visit our Mona resources on our OVLE section there, and you'll use UE ML1 as the course code to access the Mona Library resources on the UE in our course container, okay? And that's the URL to get to that page, okay? We also have you can access the reference librarian at reference.library at the UE domain. You can send email to the science library, science.library at the UE domain. You have the main library, you have law library, so it's law.library at the domain, okay, to access a librarian for information. So you can follow us, find us, and share with us. Several resources designed to help you succeed are available on our electronic platform. Okay, so we are imploring you to go to the library the Mona Library Resources site and look at those resources. Okay, a lot of resources are there on the YouTube channels. Okay, all right, so you can contact us at, as I mentioned, science.library at the UEMONA domain, and you can call us at 9358202, and our extension is 202. And you can also send us an email, Dr. Aris at sasika.aris, and you have Karen Tyrrell. It's my name at the UE domain, and you have my telephone number, and you have the extension. Okay, so that's my presentation, and I hope you have learned something, and I'm imploring you to contact us if you have any problem. Visit our library when we're open in September. We'll be having training sessions, so you look out for those flyers that will be going up. Okay, you can contact us by WhatsApp also at 876-564-0344. That's our Mona Library's WhatsApp. And as I mentioned, you can visit our social media sites at UEMONA, Instagram, Facebook at UEMONA, Instagram at UEMONA, Twitter at UEMONA. All right. I'm not sure if I left out anything. Yes, we have, as I mentioned before, I'm not sure. We have over 40 international specialized multidisciplinary databases that you can access for your resources. And we are in a pandemic, so we are imploring you to log on to the site, access the resources online, and make use of those resources. Okay, so thank you for listening. Thank you so much. I also have a virtual tour of the Science Library. I think Mr. Olness, not sure if Mr. Olness has it. Probably Mr. Olness could click on that link for me, and we could have a virtual tour of the Science Library. So I'm gonna stop sharing and see if Mr. Olness can bring that up for me. Mr. Olness?
Okay, let me bring that up.
Yes, so we'll have a virtual tour of the Science and Engineering Branch Library. So you'll get to see what the inside of the Science Branch Library looks like. And I'm sure you can't wait to come in and see the place in real and live color. Okay. So if there are any questions, you can place them in the chat. We're not seeing any question in the chat as yet. So students can contact their library, their reference librarian. I'm here to offer you whatever assistance. So we'll be having our virtual tour. Our persons can go on our YouTube channel and type in Science and Engineering Branch Library virtual tour. Here we have our tour video coming up. So just a short tour of 3 minutes of the Science and Engineering Branch Library.
To the University of the West Indies Mona Science and Engineering Branch Library. The Science and Engineering Branch Library plays a crucial role in your academic success. As such, please join us on this virtual tour of your Science and Engineering Branch Library, which is located in the Faculty of Science and Technology. Upon entering the Science and Engineering Branch Library, our welcome will greet you at the circulation desk. Behind the circulation desk is the reserve book collection, where books that are in high demand or course materials are kept for short term. You also have access to a computer lab in this general area. The computers are loaded with software to aid in your academic success. These include reference management, SPSS statistical software, Microsoft Suite, among other educational software. Adjacent to the circulation area is your reading room. This is one of several areas available in your Science and Engineering branch library for quiet study or group study. On this floor, you also have access to your dedicated reference librarian who is ready to assist you with your information needs. Additionally, on this floor, you may access books from the open shelf collection for use inside the library or for extended takeaway. Your restrooms are on this floor. The Science and Engineering branch library is a multi-story facility. Let's head up to the first floor and see what awaits. The first floor houses the periodicals collection, which provides access to print journals. Electronic journals can be accessed online anywhere, anytime from your library's website. There is a reading room on the periodicals floor for your group discussion and project assimilation. 9 carrels for postgraduates' individual study and research are on this floor. These carrels can be pre-booked at the circulation desk for 3 hours at a time. A librarian's office is also located on this floor to facilitate your queries. Let's now go to the second floor of your Science and Engineering branch library. This floor boasts a spacious conference room which can be booked online or in person. The engineering reading room is located on this floor and there are additional restrooms here. Access to the engineering reading room requires a fob key issued by the Faculty of Engineering. Postgrads, welcome to the Postgraduate Learning Commons, a space exclusively for you. In your PGLC, you have access to the lounge and study areas for research or relaxation. You also have 4 seminar rooms with varying seating capacity, equipped with a whiteboard for small group discussion and study. The Science and Engineering branch library team is pleased to serve you and looks forward to interacting with you.
Thank you, Mr. Olness. Thank you so much. So that was a short tour of the Science and Engineering branch library. So we're looking forward to having the students this semester and we're here to serve you. So please come on over. I'm not seeing any questions in the chat. So over to you, Terry. Is Terry there, Mr. Olness?
Yes, we'll go on a break now and
Okay.
resume at 10:45.
Okay. Okay, that's another 5.
Good morning, my FST Pelicans. Welcome to the Faculty of Science and Technology. I'm Tariq McLean, your guild representative for the next academic year, and I'm the guy who has been sending out those voice notes anytime someone texts me. So today we're going to be doing a presentation, or I'm going to be telling you about the Faculty of Science and Technology's Guild Committee, followed by Ms. Danielle Mullins, our guild president, who will tell you about a little bit more about what the guild does. And we have some representatives from UESTAT, one of the most prestigious societies on campus, including our very own clubs and societies that belong to the Faculty of Science and Technology, that we will be having a very special mini club fusion later on in the day. We'll be sharing that link in the description or in the chat so you guys can join later. So first of all, let us begin. So what is the FSTGC? So well, the Faculty of Science and Technology Guild Committee, again, the FSTGC for short, is your voice and we help you to help with student expression, your development, and help to create that holistic experience once you come into the Faculty of Science and Technology. So our committee is made up of myself, my VPs, Mr. Nika Powell, and all of these lovely faces that you are seeing right here. And we have a lot planned for you guys in the next academic year. So we know that the challenges of online are hefty and it's a lot to manage. We are here to help you to transition and again, help you in understanding the process. Now, to kind of help and aid with coping with being at home, or giving you again that holistic development, we have many ways to get involved. Some of these ways you can get involved include joining a subcommittee, volunteering, again, joining clubs and societies, and joining our mentorship and mentee programs. A few of the clubs and societies we have here are at the Faculty of Science and Technology includes the UMONA Chemical Society, the Biology Students Association, which I am a part of, the UMONA Geographical Society, UE Actuarial Society, UE Geological Society, the UMONA Computing Society, and the Biochemistry Society. Now, if you want to get in touch with myself or the Faculty of Science and Technology Guild Committee, you can reach out to the Faculty of Science and Technology Guild page at FST UEMONA on Instagram, the faculty office page at UEMONA FST, my personal page at Tariq McLean. I'm a little hesitant to share my personal contact number with the whole of the internet right now. But you know that once you're in the freshers chat, you don't have to be afraid to text me, reach out to me, and get that one-on-one experience with Tariq McLean. Because again, I am here for you. We also have a Twitter page for the Faculty of Science and Technology Guild Committee. And you can reach out to our Facebook and our LinkedIn pages, along with the faculty offices, LinkedIn and Facebook pages. We also have our YouTube channels, which make sure that you subscribe to this YouTube channel and make sure you subscribe to the next YouTube channel, which is our very own Faculty of Science and Technology Guild Committee channel. Now, that has been a short, brief presentation from myself. Next up, we have none other than our very own guild president, who was the previous faculty representative, Miss Danielle Mullins. But while we wait until she joins. While I wait until Danielle joins, let me know any questions that you might have, or all right, Ms. Daniel is not with us right now. So next up we have our UESTAT representatives. Please welcome them. You may go ahead, Mr. Rashid, I believe.
Good morning, everyone. I hope you are doing exceptionally well. I am Rashid White from the UESTAT Mona Corps, and I serve as the Deputy Vice President of the Corps. Now, there are a few ambassadors with me today who will just share with you some things about UESTAT. So, beginning our introductions, let us go with Rain Green. Rain, over to you.
Oh,
All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Orion Green. I'm a UESTAT ambassador.
All right, Shanique, go ahead.
Hello, good morning, everyone. I am Shanique S.D. Campbell, and I am the Deputy Vice President of Communication and Internal Relations for the UESTAT Mona Corps.
We have another ambassador, Zenika Powell. However, she's having some connectivity issues, so you will see her shortly. But to give you guys a short overview of what UESTAT is and what we're about, Shanique will take us there.
Okay, thank you very much, Rashid. So UESTAT, first things first, UESTAT is an acronym, of course, and it stands for the University of the West Indies, Students Today, Alumni Tomorrow. And we are the Vice Chancellor's ambassadors. So Sir, Professor Hilary Beckles, we represent him in the university sphere and even outside of the university also. And UESTAT was established on January 23rd, 2006. So we are currently in our 15th year. I saw Orin, he had on his Footprints shirt and it says Footprints 15. Footprints is an initiative, a student giving initiative that the UESTAT Mona Corps, well, the UESTAT regional corps does each year. And so yes, I've covered who we represent and when we started. I'm going to go to what we do. So we have a myriad of portfolios, namely 7 portfolios. Rashid, he is the deputy for membership. So we have a membership portfolio, communication and internal relations, alumni relations, CARICOM, finance, Western Jamaica campus, because we have to involve our other campus, and we have programming and volunteerism. So we have vice presidents for each portfolio, and each vice president is assisted by a deputy vice president. And of course, we all report to the president, who is currently Jamoy Phillips. We do many things. We have a programming and volunteerism portfolio. So we have a lot of activities that encompass volunteerism. But since COVID, we haven't gotten the opportunity to do all of that, really. But we have a lot of big plans this year. So just keep, follow our Instagram page or Twitter page that UESTAT Mona, UESTAT_Mona, and you'll see where we have a whole lot of things planned for you guys. The finance portfolio has footprints, and we'll be launching our footprints merch later on in the year. And of course, once it's UESTAT, we do everything big here. We don't, just as SciTech is a faculty of greatness, we are the society of greatness. So everything we do it big. CARICOM has a whole lot of stuff in store also. So just stay tuned, as I said, follow our Instagram and Twitter pages so that you can keep abreast of all that we're doing. yeah, I think that's enough for now. We don't want to give away too much before the other presenters do their part.
All right, wonderful, wonderful, Shanique. So we'll just head straight over to Zenika and she will speak to us about some of the activities that we have done as a core.
Good morning, future FST Pelicans. All right, my name is Zenika Powell, and I am an ambassador for UESTAT. And I'm also your Vice President of Services and Special Projects for the year of 2021-22. All right, so today I would love to share with you the joy and excitement UESTAT has to offer. This society embodies unity and strength in numbers. Few activities that we've initiated in the past are: one, the annual campaign, which allows us to carry out fundraising activities for youth students or to go towards the maintenance of the institution. Second, we have the Tiny Lives Blood Drive, where a group of our members, myself included, partnered with the University Hospital of the West Indies to donate as much blood as possible to premature babies. Third, we have volunteerism. So this is a big part of our strive. And this is done through visiting and giving back to cancer centers and homes. And also, we partner with our alumni members in different forums and projects. So please join UESTAT.
All right, wonderful, Zenika, wonderful. So you guys have heard some of what we have done, but what are the pillars of USTAT? What makes USTAT unique? Starting us off will be Orion speaking about four unique characteristics of USTAT. So go ahead, Orion.
You. Again, I must emphasize the prestige and the and the luster that UESTAT has and the opportunity that it has to offer. So the UESTAT, the primary objectives of the UESTAT core are supported by its 7 pillars, each of which is led by a vice president, as you would have heard before. 4 of which are the Disaster Mitigation and Climate Change Committee, DMCC, CARICOM Relations Committee, Programming and Volunteerism Committee, and Alumni Relations Committee, right? So DMCC exists to promote disaster mitigation strategies and climate change resilience. They champion initiatives to address the climate crisis we currently are going through annual regional climate change conferences to provide the future of the Caribbean with a voice on this issue that will impact them as aggressive hurricanes, heat waves, and rising sea level issues worsen. CARICOM Relations promotes regional integration, diversity, and pride, and the Caribbean single market economy, right? And it's important. In addition, you'll have the opportunity to integrate with fellow Caribbean members and international students to improve your cultural awareness. So we had this past year, we had our little CARICOM pen pal, and you could speak and interact with other members across the region. Alumni relations emphasizes on Pelican pride and the relevance of a lifelong relationship with the University of the West Indies through building a resilient relationship with alumni through the UE Alumni Association, the UEAA, which sustains various chapters from the Caribbean, Canada, and the UK. The UEAA is also responsible for our Pelican perks like discounts and concessions available in these different chapters. So at these different countries, you can go and you can experience and benefit from the different perks that they have to offer just by being a UESTAT member or being an alumni or being a graduate of the UE. P&V, or Programming and Volunteerism, also promotes awareness of social issues and advocates and volunteers to be the change they want to see. They intervene on social issues, whether it is to make it aware of HIV and AIDS prevention, to make it aware of cancer, to do blood drives, and to do all those things to help give back to the community in some way or some form.
All right, so we'll be going to Zenika, who will be speaking about our finance portfolio.
Okay, so for the Finance Committee, this committee is responsible for the source of funding for the association, and they take part in educational forums for finance and a few projects that they're working on now is one, the partnership with the Guild on educational finance forums. Two, we have seminars on the art of fundraising. And three, we have established the Footprints Bursary. So the Footprints, as Shanique would have mentioned earlier, is a campaign that we do in order to, as it suggests, is fundraising. So we will sell shirts and different merchandises, which would help to, you know, collect and so that we can donate back to the school and fellow students that we work with.
All right, thanks then for describing finance. But now we're going to move to the best portfolio in UESTAT. I mean, the communication and internal relations portfolio. Now, I say it's the best, but it's also one of the most important. Though they're all important, my portfolio works with every portfolio. So we provide graphics. When you go on the Instagram page, the posters, the videos, all of those stuff. We do that. We also run the pages. We are in charge of correspondence and yeah, all of that. Currently, our vice president is Miss Dacia Reed, and I, of course, am the deputy vice president. And assisting us, we have a director of publications who is Mr. Rashid Stanley, who is also a SciTech student. I'm a SciTech student. And we have a recording secretary who is Miss Syria Marshallek. Common IR is really booming right now, and we want some people to come on. So if you have graphic designing skills, photography skills, video editing skills, all of that, we are looking for you. I know that SciTech has some of the best video editors. I mean, I see some videos coming out all the time and I'm like, whoa. Yeah, so we have some excellent graphic designers. So we are looking for you. So when the applications open, please do not hesitate to apply because the Command IR portfolio is looking for you.
All right, wonderful, wonderful. So I am Rashid White, again, the Deputy Vice President of Membership, and I just want to tell you more about the membership portfolio. So this pillar of UESTAT deals with ensuring that we keep the family nature, the family business. If you follow UESTAT, you'll hear that we are a family business. So we keep this family nature alive. We want to build our ambassadors, ambassador designates, and even our alumni ambassadors where it is possible. And then we want to strive to allow them to get that holistic development that they need and have a memorable UE experience. We also plan to execute a myriad of activities that will allow you to become so immersed in UE and what UESTAT stands for that you will probably advance as UE students today and alumni tomorrow. Orion will start us off with something about, what UESTAT is about, his experiences in UESTAT.
All right, thank you. So I started out in UESTAT, and I went through the whole process, the training, and I got inducted, and I was named one of the outstanding ambassador designates. Right. So being a part of UESTAT, you hear about all of the different pillars and all of the different advocacy, the different types of advocacy you can be a part of. But there is something more to UESTAT. UESTAT wants to make leaders and people who will carry the torch for the future generations to have us to keep that lineage and keep that legacy of greatness going. So for me, UESTAT has helped me to be a more holistic person in that it has given me so much more to explore with. You would think that with all of the pillars and how they are defined, it would be a very rigid system, but it's not rigid at all. It allows for a type of exploration and self-discovery in ways that you wouldn't even fathom. Right. For me, I became more holistic of a person because I gained more a better sense of professionalism. I gained better practice of my skills and my oratory skills and public speaking skills. I am now more culturally aware about about the different about the cultures and the diversity and the mixing of those cultures and how that is beneficial to us as a Caribbean community. I'm also well versed and better practiced in my talent, which is singing. Right, UESAT has provided me with many opportunities to either sing at their ceremonies or award ceremonies or for special events. So they have given me a chance to really fine tune that talent that I had and really utilize it in ways that I probably wouldn't have gotten to utilize it in any other club. And that went so well for me that I understood how the voice works and how music works and how to take charge and how to be a leader, so much so that I managed to host an atomic splash talent show that did very well. And it showcased a myriad of other people and how their voices and how their talents resonate with others as well.
All right, wonderful. So you've heard everything about UESTAT. You've heard how much we have been in an impactful organization, but not just an organization, a family, because we ensure that when persons join us, we allow them to feel as if they are part of something much, much, much greater than just being a UE student. We want them to know they are ambassadors. They are part of a great family, a 16-year legacy. So we want you to know the application period will be open August 10th. We urge you all FST freshers to join UESTAT. It is going to be a rewarding experience. Follow our Instagram page, our Twitter page, all our other social media platforms at UESTAT_Mona, where you can follow up with our online campaigns. We really hope that you will join, you will get to be a part of this enriching experience, and you will make your UE experience one to remember. Thank you for listening to what we have to say about the UESTAT Mona Core.
All right, all right. Thank you for the presentation. And guys, remember, support. Try to join something once you come to you. Don't just come and just go on so with the average high school lifestyle. Be something more. Be a better you. By the time you leave UE, you're supposed to say, yeah, man, let me do this. All right. So again, that was UESTAT. Just encouraging you guys, or the FTGC subcommittee positions or applications have already been opened, and I'm encouraging you guys to apply, apply, apply. Next up, we have Miss Danielle Mullins, again, our very own guild president.
All right. Good morning, everyone. First of all, it is my utmost pleasure to be presenting to you here today. I love presenting to students. This is a part of, my role and job as guild president. I'm just going to bring my presentation up on screen. All right, cool. Let me make this smaller. And you should be able to see my screen. All right. So I'll be presenting today on what the UE Mona Guild Council is. Some of you may have heard about the UE Mona Guild Council already, either through the WhatsApp group chats or maybe if you've read the website, etc. But I'm going to really give you a good brief overview of what it entails. All right, so firstly, my name is Danielle Mullins. I am the guild president here, and what it really entails is that I am so we have two structures, right? One would be the Guild of Students, and the Guild of Students really contains everybody across the campus. So you are a part of the Guild of Students. I am a part of the Guild of Students. We all are, right? So the Guild of Students each year elects a guild council, and that's a membership of about 45 or thereabout posts. Some are elected, some are appointed. And I will soon get into the structure in terms of the executive, et cetera, et cetera. But this body is really charged with leading the overall student body, advocating for the main concerns, ensuring that we secure sponsorship for different student events. Welfare is also a huge component of the work that we do. And it's all about really advocating and amplifying and boosting the student voice. So I really do encourage you, as Tariq said a while ago, his committee applications are open, subcommittee applications are open. Feel free to volunteer and get involved. All right. So on the screen, I have that the UE Mona Guild Council is an organization of elected student leaders from the UE Mona that avail themselves to serving their fellow students by advocating on their behalf and aiding in their development and experience while at the University of the West Indies, right? It's a big task because we have about 18,000 students when you include undergraduate students and postgraduate students. There are many different diverse needs and wants, etc. But we do our best to ensure that we represent everyone that we can. And the question always comes up, how can we empower students to get more involved? And pictured on screen, I also have my VPs. To the right is the first vice president, and his name is Niall Anderson. And to the left is Kiefer Denos, he's the second vice president. Again, the three of us are leading the Guild of Students. So here's the overall structure. You have the executive. The executive would consist of course, myself, the two persons I showed you on screen a while ago, the two vice presidents. We also have an EAC, which is the External Affairs Chairperson, which is chartered with outreach activities, essentially. So giving back, they do an annual back to school retreat each year, not retreat, treat rather, for children each year. A host of charity-oriented projects, beach cleanups, mental health initiatives, etc. You have the CEAC, which is a Cultural and Entertainment Affairs Chairperson, which, is kind of as its own. So putting on virtual parties or more cultural events, putting on the Miss UE Mona pageant, etc. We have the librarian who is tasked with kind of ensuring that all our records are adequately kept, kind of similar to secretary, but more of a, record keeping role, if you will. And we have a host of other posts on the executive really, but it all boils down to ensuring that the entire gamut of work to be done is covered. So we also have a PCC, or publications chairperson, a treasurer, really a big group. We also have the postgraduate representatives, etc. And each of these will also have their own committees, right? Next up, we have faculty reps as another cohort. So the main three cohorts of the guild would be the executive, the faculty reps, and the hall chairs. So the faculty reps, Tyreek would be the faculty rep for the Faculty of Science and Technology. And essentially each faculty rep is going to be tasked with ensuring that those academic concerns of students within the faculty are met and well advocated for. So I'm really encouraging you to reach out to either Tyreek or the various department reps if there are any issues that you may be having, or maybe you need requisite information on who to contact here and there. That's the best place to go, your faculty rep first. If you're having bigger issues, like, maybe from the registry or that kind of vibe, then you could come to me. But yeah, so that's faculty reps. Then we move on to hall chairs. And hall chairs now, for each hall on campus, there is a hall chair that is leading the hall again. So they will also have a committee, and they're tasked with really, promoting hall culture, encouraging students to get involved. Again, a whole host of welfare initiatives. So we may have cash grants or so forth across the entire council, really. And lastly, I have committees, because each of these posts have a corresponding committee. So each hall chair has a committee, each faculty rep has a committee, most members of the executive will also have a committee, etc. And so these are really opportunities for you to volunteer and just see how you can also contribute to the overall UE space. And that being said, I wanted to highlight the benefits of volunteerism overall. And I think paramount to everything here is going to be personal growth. This is really an opportunity for you to learn how you can contribute more to the space. One, learn new skills that maybe you didn't even know that you had. Exposure to new careers, skill building, networking. Networking is a big one. I think that one of the biggest benefits you can get from being at university is building out that vast network, because in 10 years time, or even 5 years time, the persons that you're going to school with that are in your classes right now are going to be the next business leaders, the next CEOs, you're going to see some parliamentarians, etc. Like, it's very, very good to have a good network from now and have persons know you for a good reputation, integrity, being someone who's creative, always willing, etc. It's very good to cement that from now. Also, leadership training. I have learned a whole lot about leadership through volunteering in various posts here, whether on the guild or through clubs and societies, etc. Clubs and societies also commandos, as well as OSSD. Also public speaking opportunities. All of it is really orientated towards skill building and growth. That being said, many freshers are always asking, how do we get involved? How do we find our space here in the university? And I know I'm here to speak about the Guild Council, but I think it's very, very important to also address some of these questions that freshers always ask. And I always say that it starts off with identifying your interests. And I know that there's some students who will say, but boy, Daniel, we don't know what our interest is right now. We don't know what we want to get into. And that is completely fine. But you must have one or two things that, well, maybe I might like this or maybe I don't like this one. Identify one and try it out. So UESTAT just presented, maybe that's an interest you may have and say, all right, well, I'm going to try joining or applying for UESTAT. There are a whole host of clubs and societies within the Faculty of Science and Technology, as well as, across the entire campus. So if you even want to start networking with students outside of the faculty, you could join a club outside of the faculty. 2, research opportunities in these areas. And research is not always, solely Googling or going online. Research could also be that you're going to ask your lecturers, do you know any opportunities for somebody who's interested in X or Y or Z? Personally, I'm interested in digital health. That's something I've gotten into in the past year and a half. I'm a software engineering student, by the way. And so ask the lecturers, do you know any opportunities in this space? And you'd be surprised because your lecturers are often very, very well-connected persons who have a whole host of experience that they're bringing to the table. I really encourage you to connect. We also have the Office of Placement and Career Services, which you can also reach out to. Again, letting them know what your interests are and just putting yourself in a position to receive opportunities when they arise. 3, try out one of the opportunities. So maybe you get a few options or, you see a few clubs you may be interested in. Try out one. And persons can sometimes get crippled in the thought that, boy, if I try it out, what if it doesn't work, or so on, right? And that's what number 6 speaks to here, which is if it's not for you, if it's not working out, that's completely fine. So whether you find a space that you like and you want to continue in or not, either way, you're learning more about yourself, right? So if it works and you're like, yeah, man, I like this guild position, or I like this guild subcommittee for, I don't know, the engineering subcommittee or whatever position, I like it and I'm going to continue, fine. But if you also don't like it, that's okay too. So you can pivot and find somewhere else that you may be interested in. But number 4 and number 5 are extremely important, and that is making a meaningful contribution to the space. And I want to encourage you to do that, not only in your extracurriculars, but also within your classes. And I know that that can be challenging with, many of the online classes right now, but it's still important to, raise your virtual hand and ask whatever questions you may have. Be a student that, the lecturer knows that you're in the class, because you're always asking insightful questions, or you always come to the class prepared, etc. Overall, I think these are some general tips of how to get involved in the university campus, yes, in terms of extracurriculars, but also within your classes and as an academic. All right, that being said, I also want to speak to balance, right? And when you speak about balance here, you always have to think about what is important to you. There's self-care, personal responsibilities, you have your schoolwork, friendships, relationships, etc. You have your family. You need to identify what is important to you as you're going into this next chapter of your life. And after you've identified what is important to you, you need to prioritize them. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna spend X amount of time on schoolwork, but what downtime do I also have so that my mental health is good? Many of you may know that, FST can be a stressful faculty at times. I mean, many degrees are going to be stressful. You have to figure out what is worth being stressed for, I suppose. But you also need stress management activities. Where you just relax. So maybe some of you watch Netflix, Grey's Anatomy or whichever show, but ensure that there's a space for that, and ensure that you're also building a support system around you, and always be able to acknowledge and identify how you feel. So the Guild will have many different activities also aimed at this, and a part of it is also aimed at addressing social isolation, especially in this virtual space, because many of us are at home, we don't have that. You pass by somebody on hall and you say, yo, what's up? Or you walk past somebody in the faculty hallways, etc. We don't have as much of that right now, given the pandemic that we're in. And so when we have activities like maybe a movie night, or, karaoke night, or maybe Tyreek is going to put on the Mr. and Miss FST pageant again, or Mr. and Miss SciTech pageant again this year, those are really spaces for students to get involved. And even though we're in this socially distant, like physically distant space, we're not socially distant, And that's important to engage with these activities that the Guild is having as we try to address this holistic person. All right, continuing on this narrative of getting involved, of course, clubs. I know sports have been reduced now, given, again, COVID, volunteerism and passion projects. So under the VP SSP portfolio, which is the first vice president, clubs and societies come under it. And so I'm also encouraging you a whole lot to get involved in our clubs and societies, because that also helps to develop the whole person, the holistic person. Volunteerism is always important. UESTAT mentioned this a while ago as well. As you're building and as you're growing as a person, it's also important to give back, help others grow as a person. And of course, there's so much that you can learn from volunteerism. Lastly, passion projects. I'm encouraging you as an academic, as a student of the University of the West Indies, there's so much that you'll be excited about with regards to your classes, right? And, I've seen so many other computing students that will develop apps, or the computing society sometimes comes together and develops, works on a project. Maybe they're going to build a game. I know they have different interest groups, etc. I'm really encouraging you to, explore your passions, really and truly. Even if we're in this online space, that's no reason to not be, excellent anyway. And so, of course, this is a faculty of greatness as well. All the time, I've always mentioned that, faculty of greatness. And so I'm really encouraging you, whatever passion you may have, go for it 100%. Look at what projects you could possibly do. And again, you could reach out to your lecturers or other support systems around you to ask for help and ideas. So that's the clubs I mentioned there. Here are some of the clubs in FST. And then there's also leadership. So UWI is a melting pot of cultures, academia, and ultimately people. So explore, go and speak to new people, learn new things, and allow yourself to grow. Up in the top right-hand corner here is the Guild Council from last year, or so the 2020-2021 Guild Council. So last year I served as the Faculty of Science and Technology representative. And I'm happy to see Tyreek here, because Tyreek is doing an excellent job. But again, these are spaces for you to grow and learn new things about yourself that you may not have even known you were capable of before. So really encouraging you to join the Faculty of Science and Technologies Guild Committee. And of course, many different ways that you can grow from it, exposure to your career, speaking to people across the globe, and overall, it's an idea of learning to believe in yourself and your capacity to be great. That's ultimately what we need. And even though we're in this pandemic, even though COVID-19 is, sometimes a bit much, you're tired of the curfew or you're tired of this and that, but we have to do it because that's how we get past this stage in our lives right now. So many activities have gone largely online, from clubs to the parties to virtual initiatives to forums. Most of it is going to be online in terms of the delivery from the Guild Council, but I'm still encouraging you to get involved, get engaged, because all of this helps with the social isolation that happens when you're so distant all the time. And yes, those will be my main points. I believe that's my last, this is my last slide, right? It's okay to be nervous. It's okay to be at the start of a university journey and be wondering, where am I going to go? Where is this going to take me? Who will I become after the end of these 3 years? Will I even get through it, etc.? We all go through it, right? We literally all go through it. And I want to encourage you as freshers, that this is the best time right now for you to make a mark. I think periods of crisis are the best time for leaders to shine. And so I encourage you, see how you can be of service and benefits to the overall university space, to your classes, to your classmates. Maybe some of you want to be class reps, etc. I'm really encouraging you, because you, at the end of the day, you have to decide how much you're going to put in order to reap whatever benefits you want out of your experience, right? So it's okay to be unsure. It's okay to be nervous at the start, but you have to get moving, right? You have to try something. You can't allow yourself to stay stagnant in fear. Fear is not the problem. It's staying stagnant in it. That would be the problem, right? So even if you're fearful, go with somebody to, a club, if that's what your fear is, but I'm encouraging you really to step out of your shell and make this university experience that it can be, based on you just pushing yourself. Of course, and also having space for relaxation and such, right? But pushing yourself past the boundaries and preconceived limitations that you may have in your head. All right, that being said, thank you so much for joining today. I want to encourage you to reach out. I should have put my president's email on this, but it's uemonaguildpresident@gmail.com. If you want to reach out, if you have any questions or so on. Of course, I'm also encouraging you to reach out to Tyreek as your faculty rep with specific FST questions. You can connect on Instagram. The Guild is also on Instagram at UE Mona Guild. That's it. On Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, yeah, all the different spaces really. But I'm fully encouraging you guys to get involved. Again, I believe in you. I know that you more than have this down packed. I know that it can be stressful and it can be just a period of a lot of anxiety, especially right now as you haven't entered the space yet and you're wondering what is it going to be like. But you're more than capable. You got this. Breathe, believe in yourself, and take the first next best step that you possibly can. And after you take one step, you take another one and you keep going until you find that you finally reach your destination. 3 years, 4 years have passed and you've graduated from the faculty and we're all proud looking on. So thank you so much for listening. Of course, if you have any questions, feel free to message me on Instagram or Twitter, whichever one. I'm 100% open to speaking with you. All right, thank you. Back over to you, Tyreek.
All right. Thanks for joining us, Daniel. So again, guys, remember, get involved, join something. Just going to put up back the contact information for how you can reach myself or the faculty office. Because again, I don't want to just put my personal number out here on the internet because, you know, digital security and all those fancy things. But if you're in our WhatsApp group or you want to speak further, you can ask for my WhatsApp number in the department group, or you can just reach out to me on Instagram and I'll be happy to help. Trust me. I have nothing better to do than to talk to you. I'm joking, of course. But I'm here for you and I'm here to help you, to guide you and make sure that, hey, this year we actually go one step beyond greatness. So guys, remember, join our Club Fusion now, happening now, actually, starting right at exactly 11:30. Make sure you go out, come out, support, and if you aren't available right now, do enjoy the rest of it.